Good evening, Nitin ji. Welcome back.
Namaskar, Mr. Mohan.
Very nice of you to take this session again in English, as you have already done it in Hindi. Sunil ji wanted this specifically because he wanted it to reach a wider audience, since it's a very, very important topic of Neech Bhanga. So over to you.
Jai Shri Ram, everyone. And thank you, Mr. Mohan, for inviting me on this forum. As you said, today's topic is related to exaltation. And to be more precise, cancellation of exaltation. Right?
Yeah.
And, as we know that exaltation is the placement of a planet in a sign in which it achieves the highest level of, result. Right? And it is quite, what we know that exalted planet always give good result. There is one myth about it. And today we will discuss that in certain conditions, there are chances that the planet exaltation can be minimized, right? And, it is given in Phaldeepika that there is a combination called Neech Bhanga rajyoga.
Right.
And it is quite famous. If there are chances, if there are certain conditions who can cancel the Neecha or debilitation of the planet, then there must be certain condition who can also minimize the impact of exaltation.
Precisely.
And today we will discuss it.
Sure.
So today we will start with Panch Mahapurush Raj Yoga because before discussing cancellation of exalted planet, we should understand the result related to exaltation. Before proceeding today's session, I would like to thank my all teachers and especially my mentor and guru, Shri K. Rangachari. See, we all know that there are 9 planets which we consider in Vedic Astrology, and in this presentation or in this slide, you can see that I classify these 3 planets into 3 categories. 9 planets into 3 categories. 2 planets, the luminous planet, Sun and Moon, they are in a different category. Then we have Panchatara Grah and Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn, Mercury. They are Panchatara Grah. And the planet which do not have any physical identity, lunar nodes, Rahu, Ketu, they are in a different. Concept of Panch Mahapurush Yoga is that Panch Mahapurush Yoga is formed when any one of the 5 Tara Graha or non-luminary planet are at the time of birth situated in their own sign or in exaltation sign in the Kendra from Lagna. See, Mr. Srinivasan, when we check the strength of a planet, we generally use 2 major parameters or more important parameters. One is Rashi Bala and the second one is Bhava Bala. Right? And suppose if a planet occupy auspicious house and at the same time it become exalted, then the planet become
very good,
very strong, very strong. So in this Panch Mahapurush Yoga, it is given in the classical that if a planet occupy Kendra, which is considered to be auspicious house, and at the same time achieve own sign or Mula Trikona or Ucha Kshetra, then it create Panch Mahapurush Yoga. And in such condition, it is quite obvious that the result related to that specific planet will boost up.
One question, there you said only ascendant. So it's not going to happen with the moon as most others take it?
There is one interesting, contradiction. In few books it is given, we should also check from the lunar placement or moon placement.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it is also given in some classical, then when a planet is posited in Kendra from Lagna as well as from Moon, then this Panch Mahapurush Yoga will cancel.
Okay.
I know, it is quite a strange point because in one book it is given that if you see from moon position, it will give you Panch Mahapurush Yoga, almost of same caliber.
Hmm.
But in other book, it is given when you have Panch Mahapurush Yoga from moon as well as from ascendant, then it get nullified. See, first Mahapurush Yoga is Hamsa Mahapurush Raja Yoga, and it is formed when Jupiter is at the time of birth situated in exalted sign, which is Cancer, Sagittarius, Pisces, and at the same time it occupies Kendra. And as you can see in this chart, Jupiter is exalted in the Lagna. What Hamsa Yoga will give you the sense of responsibility, knowledge, Gyan. The previous chart belongs to our ex-president, Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Then we have courage, Ruchaka Yoga, which is related to courage.
Mars.
Same condition. Mars is at the time of birth situated in exalted sign, Aries or Scorpio. Occupy Kendra, then it will give good result, or the result related to courage, boldness, etc. In this chart, Mars is in his own sign, in the Kendra. And this chart belongs to Adolf Hitler. And there is no need to say how courageous he was. Okay. Then we have Bhadra Yoga. Bhadra Mahapurusha Yoga is formed when Mercury is at the time of birth situated in Virgo or Gemini in the Kendra. So, see, Mercury, strong Mercury will give us good grasping power, and at the same time a great, good communication skill. And in some book, it is also given that for trade purposes, Mercury should be checked because it will provide you the natikta.
Business.
And business, yeah. And see, in this case, as we can see, Mercury is exalted in the 10th house. This chart belongs to Warren Buffett. Then we have Malavya Yoga, yoga related to Venus. Same condition, if Venus occupy Pisces, Libra, Taurus in Kendra, then it will give you Malavya Yoga. And in this chart, Venus is in Libra, right? And this chart belongs to showman of Bollywood, and it is related. Malavya Yoga is quite, we can think about it that it is quite result giving in his chart.
Yeah,
it was quite result.
All the beautiful women in his movies and life.
Then we have Shash Yoga, and Saturn. When Saturn occupy own sign or exaltation sign and it is in Kendra, then it is this Shash Yoga form. Shani is related to mass support, and in a democratic country, Saturn is quite important.
Yes.
Right? And in this chart, Saturn occupy Capricorn, and it is placed in Lagna. And this chart belongs to Barack Obama. So we can see from previous examples, we can see that Panch Mahapurush Yoga is quite an important combination. It will give us the idea, the traits a native can have. Right? Now we will discuss how exalted Jupiter, the result related to exalted Jupiter get cancelled.
Yeah, one question I wanted to raise.
Please.
In the Panchamaha Yogas, I find it a bit this thing also that they also talk of Kendradipati dosha. So how does that come into play when you link it with the Panchamaha Purusha Yogas?
Kendradipati dosha. This yoga, this dosha is related to benefic planet when they occupy the Kendra, right? When they own the Kendra.
When they own the Kendra, and supposing now, let's say Jupiter for Virgo Lagna owns the Kendra, but is in the exaltation house of Cancer. Okay, so
very valid question. First of all, see, as you said that let's take an example of Virgo ascendant.
Yeah.
If Jupiter is placed in the 7th house in Pisces sign, then this Hamsa Mahapurush Yoga is formed.
Yes.
The trait of the traits related to Jupiter will be quite high in Virgo ascendant native in this case.
Okay.
But at the same time, because Jupiter own Kendra and occupy Kendra, Dasha of Jupiter will not be very fruitful.
Okay.
So there is two different, what should I say, methodology.
Okay.
In one, we can check the strength or traits of the native, and the other one is how it will act in Dasha.
Okay.
So if Jupiter is in Kendra, occupy his own sign, it will give traits related to Jupiter.
Right.
Okay, let's moving ahead. This shloka is given in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 63. Krodad bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhrama, smriti vranshad buddhinasho, buddhinasha pranashyati. It indicates that from anger, delusion occur.
Yes.
And from delusion, bewilderment of memory or loss of memory.
Correct.
And if we lose our memory, the loss of spiritual intelligence is there. And by losing spiritual intelligence, one perishes.
Absolutely.
Right. In short, when person become angry, that in that condition, his buddhi, his buddhi get lost, and the thinking power of the native get hampered. Right. So if a person have moon Mars combination in his chart, as we know that moon is related to the emotions and Mars is for anger, then the result related to exalted Jupiter will get diminished. Up to a certain level, it will get diminished.
You said influence. So influence means conjunction only here, or you including aspects?
Conjunction.
Okay.
I'm talking about conjunction.
Okay.
Then as all we know that Mars is related to energy, right? Summer, as per Uttar Kalamrit, summer, Grishma Ritu, youthfulness, Yuva Avastha, and manliness, Paurushatva, these all three terms are related to Mars. Now, and the rest three terms are quite opposing the above three terms. Shishir Ritu, Grishma Ritu ka ulta agar hum bole to.
Yes.
Then we have old age, Vrida Avastha,
Right.
opposite to youthfulness, and impotency, Napunsak.
Yes.
See, the later three terms are related to Saturn. So
yes.
if we have exalted Mars in our chart, but unfortunately, if it is conjuncted with Saturn, then the result related to exalted Mars will quite minimize, because these two contradictory traits, if we merge together, they nullify each other effect.
Yeah. Two extremes are meeting.
Yeah, two polar traits are meeting in this. Then we have Venus, desire of comfort, luxury, and the hunger of wealth, the hunger of pleasure. We have one character, Mahatma Buddha, who had all these traits from starting from his childhood. But after some time, because of Gyan and Vairagya, he himself, changed himself, or you can say he
gave up, abandoned.
Yes, you're right. Gave up all these luxury. And this happened due to the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter represents knowledge and Saturn represents emancipation. So if a person is having Jupiter-Saturn combination in the chart, and at the same time Venus is exalted, then the result of or the desire of comfort will get minimized because of his Vairagya and Gyan.
Yes. He knows the real comforts come from inner knowledge.
As all we know that Saturn is related to Vairagya, Virakti, detachment, aloofness. And in our mythological story, we have a character called Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra. When he becomes sent, he obviously opts the path of Vairagya. But due to certain conditions or due to certain circumstances, he again got involved into Grahastha ashram.
Yes.
And this could happen when your Mercury is related to Venus. Mercury represents your mind and Venus represents the pleasure, right? When you have a Mercury-Venus combination, then the exalted Saturn result or the result related to Vairagya, Virakti, it will, either we can say it will be controlled by Mercury and Venus or get cancelled by Mercury or Venus.
Understood.
Right? Let's talk about Mercury. Mercury is the only planet whose benefic and malefic nature depends on the conjunction, as per Vedic astrology. Mercury represents our buddhi, Jigyasa.
Yes.
And Jupiter stands for Gyan. So Jupiter stabilizes the thought process of the native, right? It controls the, what should I say, the naughtiness of Mercury. Mercury is the, in some books it is given that Mercury is a Shishya.
Yeah.
And Jupiter is Adhyapaka or teacher.
Yeah.
So
Mercury is the fast learner. Yeah.
Mercury is having a very good grasping power,
Yes.
whereas Jupiter represents the knowledge.
Correct.
When knowledge comes, it stabilizes the thought process of the native. It will, so when you have Mercury, exalted Mercury in your chart, and at the same time it is conjuncted with the, Jupiter, then the naughtiness or the jigyasa of the native will be calmed. So this is one of the aspects.
Correct.
All these things which I told you in this session, it is extracted out from the article written by Mr. Subramaniam Shastri,
right,
Saptarishi magazine. And sorry, the logic behind this concept, he used the concept. See, in case of Ruchaka yoga, let's talk about Hamsa. Let's talk about Hamsa first.
Okay.
Hamsa yoga, or the exalted Jupiter, Jupiter become exalted in moon side.
Right.
Right. And moon become debilitated in Mars side.
Correct.
So when a person is having Hamsa yoga, but at the same time moon Mars conjunct together, then the result related to Hamsa yoga will get minimized.
Right.
He used this technique
logic,
or this logic. In Malavya, in case of Malavya yoga, Venus become exalted in Jupiterian sign, and Jupiter become debilitated in Saturn sign.
Correct.
So Jupiter-Saturn combination nullify the benefic influence of Malavya yoga.
Understood.
Okay. So this is how one of the aspects which we can see that how exalted planet get cancelled.
One question that I wanted to ask, you said he has given an article in Saptarishi magazine. Did you also give some reference to some scriptures from where he has got the idea?
Yeah, he used Chandrakala Nadi scripture there. I remember that Malavya, Jiva Yute Sanyute Malavya Yoga Bhangavan. There's something like this. If Jupiter and Saturn combine together, then it will the Malavya Yoga get cancelled.
Okay.
And he used this technique, or he used this principle on other planets too.
Okay.
And gave this theory.
So that's how the rule has been formed for all the other planets.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other question I wanted to ask is, this you said cancels Mahapurusha Yoga, but what happens if it is just exaltation but not Mahapurusha Yoga? Does it still cancel the exaltation?
See, very valid question. See, Hamsa Yoga, let's start with the Hamsa Yoga. Hamsa Yoga is not only formed when Jupiter is become exalted. It can become created if it is in own sign, right?
Yes.
But here, if we follow the principle given by Mr. Subramaniam Swami, he said in this that particular article that when a planet is exalted, it's exalted sign lord. If it conjunct with malefic debilitation lord, then only it happens. So we should use this principle on all exalted planets.
Okay.
Because if a planet become exalted, this such principle is also given in Phal Deepika, but it is related to Neech Bhanga.
Yes.
When a planet conjunct with its Uchnatha or the Rashinatha, then the Neech Bhanga happen, right? So this principle is used on the contrary or the vice versa.
Yes.
On debilitated planets.
That's very good. That's really interesting. So it is effective even if it is not a Mahapurusha Yoga, if Jupiter is exalted but not in a Kendra also.
Yeah, we should check.
Okay.
We should apply this.
Okay. So thanks a lot. It's been really enlightening. Very nice of you once again to redo the show in English so that it can reach a wider audience. Thanks a lot, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.